I'm Sister Karen Rose and I am the prioress at St. Benedict's Monastery in St. Joseph, Minnesota. The reason that I like being a sister actually goes back a long way. I was born and brought up in England, as you might gather from my accent. And I think really from quite an early age, I always had a real sense of God and of Jesus being a part of my life. And as I grew up and went to university and so on, that became a more and more insistent need for me to become closer to God and to know God better. And in fact, I went to university and I was going to major in English, and I did that for a year, and it wasn't revealing the meaning of life to me. And so I changed to study philosophy and theology, which also didn't reveal the meaning of life to me. But I'm an ever hopeful person. And so after I graduated, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I'd kind of had this realisation that material things weren't going to be the things in life that make me happy. And I ended up going and working for a year as a nurse's aide in a hospice while I thought about what I wanted to do. And to cut a long story short, what I ended up doing was actually doing my nursing training and becoming an RN. And I had many, many years of really happy and fulfilled work as a nurse, and for many years in healthcare research, looking at quality of life issues for patients and their families. But there was still this kind of need in me to find something more, to find something else. And this is not an argument against marriage in any way whatsoever, because I know many people who are very happily married and it truly is their vocation, and I think it's a wonderful thing. But I kind of knew that wasn't what was going to be the thing for me, that there would come a day, when I would wake up one morning and think, this isn't enough. And so I think I was really always looking for the thing that was enough, and I felt bad about that in some ways, because I realised I had, a good life, I had a loving family, I had a lot of friends, I did a lot of travelling, like I went to movies, plays, concerts, I was having a good time and I enjoyed what I was doing in my job, but there was still this ache that it wasn't enough. And what happened was I came to St. Benedict's Monastery in 2005 for the first time, not wanting to join any monastery. I came to the Studium programme, which is a programme we have for people to come and do some kind of an academic project, but also have the opportunity to live with the sisters. And I think that was where I kind of really started to seriously think, well, maybe God is calling me to something else. And I'd originally just come to Studium for 2 weeks, but I came back about 4 months later and spent 3 months here, during which time I felt that I was sorting out where God wanted me to go, and that I needed to have a life that had more time for prayer, and was less kind of hurried and less goal-driven and so on. And I actually thought I wanted to become an oblate here, which is the lay people who associate themselves with a monastery and live in their daily life, the rule of Benedict. And I went to see the oblate director, who was Sister Hélène Mercier at the time, and I explained to her why I thought I wanted to be an oblate. And she said to me, "Tell me, have you ever spoken to the director of vocations?" And it was as if something imploded in my mind somehow, and as if there was nothing between me and God anymore. And I kind of just knew that that's what I was called to do. And I did see the vocations director, Sister Mary Catherine Hollicky, at that time. And she said, I think you need to go home and live out the idea of vocation in your own home and surrounded by the people you know and love. And then if you still think there might be something there, then you should come back in 6 months and make a long living of 3 months. And that's what I actually did. And I visited a couple more times, and it was really hard, like leaving everybody behind in England. But I was so sure at the time that this was what God was calling me to, that I just went through with whatever I had to go through to get here. And I entered in the fall of 2007. I mean, I'm not going to make out, that this is a happy ever after story, because I have had my moments where I've thought, I can't believe that I've done this. I don't think I've done the right thing. Like, I want to go back home. But if I look at that time from 2007 to now, I realised that this was what I had been looking for all my life, really. And so I guess the thing that I like best about being a sister is the fact that it's here at St. Benedict's Monastery that I really found the place that I needed to be in life. I mean, I can't say that there's more work to do in finding God, but I feel now I'm in the right place to do that, and I don't anymore have that sense of, there's something that I'm looking for that I'm not able to get, and I don't know how to get it. So I am very glad that I am a sister. I'm very happy to be here, and honoured to be the prioress of a wonderful, seeking, loving community of women.